Hello, my name's Jeannie, and I wanted to show you my 1952 Southern Jumbo Gibson guitar, and it's been passed down in my family. My uncles Bill and Dale owned it. They purchased it originally back in 1952 from a music dealer in Huntington, West Virginia. And they passed it back and forth through the years, and when my Uncle Dale died, he gave it to my Uncle Bill. A few weeks before my Uncle Bill passed away, he called me and he said he wanted me to have this guitar. And next thing I knew, I was getting a call from my aunt a couple of weeks later saying that my Uncle Bill had passed away. My dad was the executor of the will, so when I told him I had never seen the guitar, but that Uncle Bill wanted me to have it, he said, well, if that's what Uncle Bill wanted, then that's what we'll do. And so I ended up with this 1952 Southern Jumbo. And it's a really nice guitar, has a good tone to it. And I'm not an accomplished musician, but it was easier for me to learn to play this guitar than it was to do the other thing that was being passed down through my dad's side of the family. He was quite a carnival performer in his time and played Chet Atkins style guitar and did tricks like pulling nickels out from behind your ear and breathing fire and swallowing swords. He actually had a 26-inch sword that he swallowed. Of course, the blade wasn't sharp, and the trick in swallowing it was he kept rubbing the blade until it got the same temperature, same as his body temperature, so it kind of suppressed the gag reflex. And then sure enough, he'd flip his head back and kind of work that sword down about 20 inches, and that was always a big crowd pleaser. So I didn't want to learn to swallow the sword, so I just decided that I was going to play the guitar. So I started playing when I was about 15, and for a period of years I was pretty regular at playing it, but about the last 5 years or so I haven't really played it that much. So I'm a little on the rusty side, but you can still hear the tone of the guitar, and I'll post some pictures probably. I'll post this video on YouTube, and then I'll post some pictures on or create a link if I can figure out how to do it, to my Facebook page, so that you can actually see some photographs of different angles of the guitar. Okay, and if you like this video, then hit like or post subscribe or whatever, because I am going to try to go ahead and do more YouTube videos. Okay, so here we go with just a simple song, pretty familiar to everybody. Jesus is the sweetest name I know, and he's just the same as his lovely name. That's the reason why I love him so, for Jesus Okay, well, that's all for the theatrics today, but I am going to put this up close, give you a few little shots here so that you can see this guitar. Right there, it says Gibson. Okay, my dad, when I gave it back to him for a while, and he replaced some of the gears here, the old Cluson gears, and it's got the mother of pearl parallelograms, which really threw me because anytime I tried to look up information on this guitar, I just found the ones with just the dots. But that's because this was like more like a floor model or something like that. And then you have the mother of tortoise or the tortoise shell pick guard, which my dad never used. So there's a few little guitar pick Mars here, and then both my uncle, well, all my uncles and my dad were alcoholics, and so the guitars had a few dings. It's got 3 scratches in the back here. They're not completely through the wood, but they are through the finish. And then down here, there's that little bit of discoloration I was telling you about from the finish getting wet and then drying. And other than just a few little nicks and dings along the way, it's all solid. You can see where the finish, that old lacquer finish, has just got a real crackled. It's got a real crackled pattern to it. And I don't know if I can pick that up or not on here, but maybe not. But anyway, that's my Gibson. I'm real proud of it, and have had it in the family. Like I said, I've gone back and forth. I would much rather it find a place of fame than to sit somewhere in my closet or by my shelves here in the living room until I'm dead and gone. But that's just something that we'll have to see what happens with that. I have another old guitar. My dad was telling me, oh, this guitar's worth $500, and it's a cheap Indiana made guitar right here. Cheap Indiana. I looked it up online. It's worth maybe $150, but it has the built-in amplifier to it, and it's actually supposed to have a tuner, but the tuner, I don't think it works that good. It could be that the battery's kind of dead on it, but it has quite different sound. Doesn't have nearly the sound that Gibson has. So there's just something to be said about the old-fashioned, old-time Gibson guitar. I know that the ones that are really valuable are the Les Pauls, which I've never been much on playing electric. I like the acoustic sound better. But anyway, this is my first YouTube video post, and I do plan on doing a few more down the road a little bit. So if you're interested in keeping track of what happens to the Gibson or what other type of content that I'm going to put online, then just hit the like button or subscribe, and I'll see you later. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.